Arif, welcome to the hot seat. You spent more than 20 years helping people on the digital transformation. From San Francisco, where you started at Salesforce, to now you are based in Saudi, right?
Correct.
Working
yes.
for NEOM.
Correct.
So before we dive into NEOM, I want to hear something about what is your first take, or what is the first thing that actually brought you into CRM?
Okay, that's always a question that I get, and I think like most of the people, you don't choose your first position, right? Usually it comes naturally from the recruitment process and so on. So I was recruited by Salesforce just off campus, and I was actually their first university recruit globally.
Okay.
So I just finished my master's degree in Carnegie Mellon, and then they came to the camp and they were interviewing people, and then they told me, okay, how about you join this company? It's called Salesforce. It was tiny, and then very few people would know the name.
How many years ago is that now?
That was in 2006.
2006, okay, so nearly 20.
Almost, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have to say, to be honest, I didn't choose it because I wanted to do CRM. And at the time, it had 3 offers from other companies. One of them is big known companies like Oracle.
Okay.
But with full transparency, I just like the people. You feel the Salesforce culture from the start.
Okay.
From the time you talk to the recruiters, you feel that respect, welcoming culture, and so on. And that was mainly the entry point for me. But no regrets. No regrets. After almost 20 years, no regrets.
How had your view on digital transformation changed over the years?
I think the basics of the concept is the same.
Okay.
We try to utilize the advancement in technology and digitization to achieve mainly 2 things: business return in the form of operational excellence, cutting down your cost, speed, and all of these things, and also having better perception by your customers, so CX kind of thing. These are the basics. What change from time to time is which technology is being used. Maybe an early stage it was internet, then mobile apps, then recently AI. But the concept is always the same. We try to use these advancements to achieve better bottom line and top line for the companies, and also have better perception of the company by their customers.
So when you think back at your experience at Salesforce,
yeah,
what do you say? What did the experience teach you?
I have to say Salesforce was really one of the best places that I learned how to do business. Mark Benioff, as a visionary, you always say things, that a lot, not me, only me, a lot of people would pick and they say, this is actually makes sense, starting with the philanthropy model, the great culture, business as a great platform for change, how we do things, this kind of collaborative culture within the team. I carried all of these things when I moved out of NEOM, right? So when I moved out of Salesforce to NEOM, I tried to introduce that positive change. So yeah, there's a lot of things, not only technology or how to do Salesforce, but how you engage with people to achieve the ultimate return for business is the main takeaway from that learning journey.
So what do you think then companies still nowadays get wrong when they're talking about going digital?
You mean companies in general?
Yeah, companies in general.
I would say there's no one big mistake, but I think majority of the companies will think of the in-house needs rather than the customer needs. So they will use the technology. How do we enhance our products? How do we cut down our cost?
For the operational part, rather than the customer experience. Okay.
What a lot of the companies that were really successful are the companies that looked from outside. How does the customer see us? How do we meet the expectation or the growing expectation of that customer using the technology? And these are the companies that knew that trick and became very, very successful. I think that's I think the main pitfall is that people think of the technology as a way to be more productive, cut down your costs, go faster, operational sort of needs.
Operational rather than customer experience.
Exactly.
The NEOM isn't just another project. We're talking about a new kind of city.
Yes.
Okay. So how do you even start designing a CRM for something that big and unique?
That's a very good question. Actually, NEOM is a very unique place, very, very unique. When I was approached by NEOM, when I was still in London, like most of the people, I mean, they will say, yeah, let me go with the discussions, but I'm not really fully committed. But when I read their NEOM vision online, that was the turning point to say, actually, you might consider it that seriously. When you read a vision that says, we are here to build the land of the future, where the greatest minds and the best talent are brought together to push the boundary of science and technology and reimagine things differently. Every single word in that statement did touch me. If I would describe myself as a company, I wouldn't find better way, to describe myself.
Okay, so similar value.
Exactly, similar
Same value.
Yeah, exactly. So that was mainly the entry point. For me, to make the decision to join NEOM. And as I started working in NEOM, there's a known rule in NEOM: we are not here to copy anyone's work. Starting with how we create livability, we are here to reimagine livability, right? As NEOM. And how the great thing that we don't have legacy to carry. So everything is starting with a new vision, new view on how we can do things in a better way. This is the unique section. This includes CRM. Going back to your question, this includes CRM. When I went there, I gave myself the chance. How can CRM be done in a different way? To go beyond the basics, like, because most of the people, they still think CRM as a sales tool.
Yeah.
One of the things that I experimented, and it's proved to be really interesting, is to stretch Salesforce to go beyond CRM and start thinking of it as a stakeholder relationship management tool. So NEOM is a unique place where you have a city that people will be living in and visiting and so on. You have a project, a huge giga project that is meant to create the largest cognitive city from scratch. And then you have the company that will take all of these assets and try to make them something of commercial value to the company. So very unique combination of the three. So when you build a CRM for a cognitive city like this one, you need to take all of these stakeholders into consideration.
So what was the hardest part to build that? I mean, to build connecting data between all of these different aspects of the community?
I think there are two challenges. The first one, like any technology change, is culture change. Right?
Okay.
To get people to agree on one direction and so on and so on. But luckily, this reimagination of how we do things in NEOM is coming from the top down, from the leadership. So everyone is empowered to do that. So the first challenge was the culture element. To get people coming from all different parts of the world, different companies, to agree on something. The other one is just to do that play or playbook. That will support your reimagination of the CRM. You have to come up with your own playbook to do it. I think these are the two main challenges.
When you're building everything from scratch, as you guys are doing right now, how do you make sure that tech doesn't dehumanize? So how do you make sure that you still have that human touch within what you guys are doing?
That's a great point. And I think this coming from the core of the design of NEOM, because we are here to reimagine livability. Livability means human element, living in a better world. And technology is just a supporting element in that reimagination of livability. So I think everything that we do, we try to make it human-centric. What is the impact on human element on that one? Rather than just, as I said earlier, thinking about the operational excellence, the cost and things like that. What is the impact on human element? How technology can give these human better lives, technically.
So AI is changing everything, right? So how we sell, how we see customer, how we target, even how we make any type of other decision, right, is based on AI. How do you see it shaping the future of CRM?
Yeah, so I think the first thing that we need to agree on is what is AI, right? If you ask 10 different people today, what is AI, they will give you 10 different answers. But in nutshell, AI is where technology try to mimic or try to do capabilities that until now human only was able to do. Either by seeing things and understanding, like the vision AI, or reading something and understanding it, or even generating content that using our NLP or natural language processing capabilities as human. all of these things would fall under the AI. CRM, like many other technologies, will be utilizing a lot of these capabilities in a way or another, right? I think, very good examples. Salesforce now is inventing so much in agentic AI and creating Agent Force as a key offering of the platform. And everyone is reimagining the Salesforce platform just to be around that capability. We'll be utilizing it, for providing better customer experience by using Gen AI to generate content, articles, and so on by the agents instead of you trying to articulating better or more intelligent matching. So instead of just using text matching, basic text matching, you need to match the customer need to what you have in your knowledge base. That would be more robust way to do it. And chatbots will be more intelligent and more contextualized using RAGs and things like that, more personalized to your needs. So apparently CRM is already benefiting, as Salesforce is kind of already pioneering that among the other CRM providers.
So you're talking about the chatbots. Do you think that AI will ever replace human? This is one of the hottest topics right now.
I think, to be honest, I always think about that. And I have to say that the word replace might be tricky, and I'll tell you why. We as humans are very good in adapting. We keep pushing our limits. If you take, when we're living in the Stone Age, and most of our abilities were relying on our physical abilities to carry things from one place to another, right? But when we invented the wheel, for example, that took some of that demand. But at the same time, the wheel allowed us to go to new places that we never were able to reach before, right? This created new level of demand or new type of demand on our skills. And we as humans, we adapted. I think the same thing will happen now. AI is the new wheel, technically. It will take some of the demand in our existing skills, but at the same time, it will open new areas in our life that will require new demand of talent, and we'll be adapting accordingly, right? So I think this is mainly the relationship. It's not really a replacement. It will be more of an augmentation. There will be a shock initially. Apparently, there's a shock. There will be layoffs. There will be, a lot of the things that happened with all of the other, capabilities from, steam engine to internet to mobile apps and so on. It will take some of the demands, but over the time we will pick up as human, and we'll be reinventing ourselves. This is how I see it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like 100%. Like what we are doing right now is just like reinforcing the human touch with AI. So a task would take me in the past, let's say, few hours. Nowadays, I can do it in 10 minutes, maybe.
Yeah. But to be honest, that's where the ethical AI comes. And that's why, in addition to you as a business owner will think about your bottom line, cutting down my labor or workforce, by using AI and so on. That's where the ethics of using the AI needs to come into play. That's why a lot of the countries and a lot of the companies around the world are thinking, how can we make AI ethical? So it doesn't become greedy, if you get what I mean.
Okay, yeah. It doesn't replace.
It doesn't replace, yes.
Okay, interesting. So if you could redesign the perfect CRM from scratch, how would it look like?
I think that's a tough question.
Yeah. Super creative.
Yeah, but I will say, to be honest, to make it less about the data and the interface, and focus more on the business logic and the automation. Today, there's still a lot of people are using CRM just as a data store.
Okay.
You have an interface to key in the data, and then an interface to retrieve the data, mainly.
Okay.
There's very little investment when it comes to the business logic.
Okay.
So I think this is, what could be the new evolution. If I'm designing the CRM from scratch, I need to think beyond data and interfaces and think about that thick business logic that makes AI beyond just a simple database.
What would be the name of this company? No, I'm joking.
We can come up with a name.
After 16 years at Salesforce, first of all, that's huge. Like from 2006 then until 2020. Wow, that's a lot of time. You literally seen the company growing from a startup to the big corporation that it is nowadays, right? At the beginning, it was a simple CRM company.
It was actually Salesforce automation only.
Sales automation only.
That's where the name actually came from. The Salesforce name came because initially it was just launched to be a Salesforce automation company, SFA. And that was actually the product name at then. Then they added the other CRM suite and it became a CRM company.
So what was this journey for you? How much impacted on your career and like in your life and everything else?
I feel privileged actually. 16 years is a big number.
Yes.
It's almost, when I left Salesforce, that was almost half of my, or a little bit more than, a little bit less than half of my adult life, and almost the majority of my professional life.
Wow.
So it's a huge investment from you to spend 16 years in a company. But honestly, I learned so much. I mean, when I joined Salesforce, as I said, it was still in startup mode. So I had the opportunity to learn from wearing multiple hats and so on. And as it matured through acquisition, through building new products and so on, and we moved from, I think, a couple of thousands, when I joined, to 70,000 when I left. That was a big stretch every single day. In terms of your knowledge, abilities, and learning new things. It wasn't easy, I have to say.
Of course.
I was discussing with some colleagues yesterday that comes with the cost of you being in a different place every day, if you get what I mean, right? With that huge, growth or speed, growth, you need to be adaptive in a way to be willing to give up the typical Salesforce that you were in and be able to accommodate the new Salesforce that it is in. But I learned so much. It was really interesting journey. I feel privileged that I saw the new products. As I said, when I joined, it was only Salesforce automation. Then it was Service Cloud. And then it was, marketing. And then we added a lot of things like MuleSoft, Tableau, and Slack, and all of these things. Yeah.
And all of this. So you've seen so many Salesforce projects. Okay, which one would you say was the one that you remember the most? That it was the most wow.
Maybe I wouldn't say the name of the company, just to avoid any conflicts. But
well, if it's a published story, we can say. If it's a customer story that happened in the past.
Yeah, I think I can name maybe the name beside NEOM, of course, which is a great place. To innovate and create things. I think Unilever also was an interesting project for me. I spent 2 years and a half in their core tech team. And they had a similar kind of. I always use Unilever when I talk about NEOM because it's diverse company across multiple verticals, even though they're still in the consumer product space. But they are multiple countries, very diverse, huge customer base, huge user base also for Salesforce, and they was part of the Center of Excellence team that always reimagined. So it was like a small lab where you come up with an idea and you build it. So I think Unilever I would say is the.
But what was the success? The secret of their success when it comes to the Salesforce implementation?
I think innovation.
Innovation.
They try to innovation the digital operating model. They always ask, how can we run digitization or technology in a different way? So I think that was really unique. Not many companies are willing to spend money to experiment on something like that. They will just wait until someone is successful with it and they will just copy it.
Okay, so you wouldn't say it was something specific like tech, people. It was specific. It was mainly like
the operating model.
The operating model.
It was the operating model, the combination of processes, people, and tech and everything.
Do you think that automation is the way to move forward for company? I
would say yes, but it shouldn't be at the cost of because automation usually means standardization, right?
Yeah.
And standardization usually means you are restricting people from being innovative. You are restricting special cases, things like that. You try to standardize, and usually it's driven by cutting down the cost and so on when you automate. So I think automation is absolutely needed, but it shouldn't be at the cost of innovation, and it shouldn't be at the cost of special cases. You still need to have that hybrid model where you automate, but leave room for innovation and special cases that cannot be standardized.
And do you think automation then kind of slows the personalization process?
No, I think it doesn't slow it, but I mean, it restricts some of the things that could be done, right? I mean, through personalization, because standardization, you're trying to create personas or stereotypes, and you're trying to fit everyone into your stereotypes. You just say, you need to fit yourself in one of these categories, and then we'll just automate your activities or processes.
Yeah.
So I think the best model is the model that balance between differentiation and standardization. Just when you find that right balance.
Yeah.
And actually, one of the things that I learned in my MBA, it was saying the perfect business leader is that business leader who knows where is that right boundary between standardization and differentiation.
The sweet spot.
Yeah, exactly.
So nowadays you're working at NEOM, and you were in charge of the Salesforce operation at NEOM.
I'm the business owner of the corporate CRM. Yes.
Yeah.
Rather than the technology element, it's the business. I'm the business owner of the CRM. So you can think of me as the business center of excellence.
Wow. So how do you, we're talking about like your past life and your future life all together in one role. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So everything that you learned at Salesforce, you're taking it and bringing it into the customer side of it. Because Salesforce, I mean, NEOM is a customer of Salesforce.
Yeah.
So how do you find it? Like
that wasn't an easy switch. I mean, being a techie person for all of your life, and then suddenly decide to do a business management role. And I think having my MBA was that turning point where you said, okay, should I try something else? But I think the most difficult part of it, I mean, to be honest, is to convince the people around you, at least the people that know you, that you are not a techie person. You're more of a business manager. And I think the most difficult part was for me when I sit down with technology stakeholders.
Yeah.
And I restrict myself from speaking technology because I don't want to be late.
Because I don't want to, yeah.
Exactly. I think
there is a bit of a stereotype about tech people, like CTO.
Exactly. People always think if you are techie, then don't talk business management. If you are business management, then technology for the techie people.
Yeah.
So just doing that transition in the last few years, I think was an interesting journey. But no regrets. As you mentioned, it makes you unique that you know both.
Yeah.
Technically, you can speak both languages, and you can switch between the two modes. I think that was an added value for me.
Amazing. So I have few quick question for you, okay?
So the feeling sizzling hot.
Yeah. So one word to describe NEOM culture.
I would say NEOM culture is it exactly one word?
Yeah, one word.
Okay, I'll make it two. Beautiful dream.
Beautiful dream, okay. Tech trend that you're most excited about?
I would say, like most of the people, AI.
Yeah.
Using AI in...
Later, I will ask you a question then about it.
Okay.
One piece of advice for someone trying to drive change in their organization.
Give yourself the chance to observe and learn before making conclusions.
Okay.
This is the best advice.
A book or a podcast that changed the way you think about leadership?
I'm a big fan of Dan Carnegie's book. I mean, the How to Influence People and Make Friends. I think that was one of the books that I read, and it made me rethink
life
and people's. I think we, especially if you're a technical person, you tend to undermine the importance of understanding people, right? And people drive as an incentive. So reading that book made me rethink how should I approach people and relate to their needs.
Emotional intelligence, I would say, is one of the most important skills nowadays when it comes to innovation.
Exactly, yes.
But yeah, I mean, this is a whole new topic. And finally, if you weren't building a digital solution, like if you weren't working in NEOM nowadays, where would you be? What would you be doing?
If I wasn't doing technology, you mean? Okay.
Anywhere else, like what would you be?
I always ask myself, I mean, I have two versions of the questions. One is very basic, which is I wanted to be a teacher.
Oh, wow. What type of teacher?
Maybe even a school teacher. I love teaching, or university teacher.
Okay.
The second one maybe is a civil engineer or construction engineer, something like that.
Okay, super interesting. Now I have a question. You were talking earlier about AI and you said if you ask 10 different people, they would give you 10 different answers. So how would Arif answer to the question what it is AI for you?
As I said, it's an attempt by science and engineering to try to create capabilities in machine that mimics human capabilities, keeping in mind that our knowledge about human capabilities is evolving day to day, right? So, I mean, with Vision AI, you try to mimic what the eye can do. With the synthesized speech, for example, we try to make the machine speak like human. With regression, we try to give that machine the ability to process data and then make inference out of them. So it's not one definition. We take the different capabilities of human and we say, can the machine do them? So this is the general definition. But I think, there's another key element beyond, the senses, the five senses, is the reasoning. When we make the machine is able to do rational reasoning and thinking, I think this is the new big push in AI these days. The ability for the machine to reason, to think, to make inference or conclusion beyond just simply processing the data.
At that moment, might replace human though, if that happens. So we have a last question that we usually ask for our guests is like, who would you like to see next in the podcast?
Oh,
Please don't say Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg. We had that already, but
that's a tough one.
Maybe hopefully in the future, but
does it have to be from my company or it could
be anyone?
Okay, let me nominate. I don't know if you can bring him in this seat, but Mohammed Al-Khatani maybe.
Okay.
Give it a try.
Perfect.
I think he can say great things about him and how he see the future of Salesforce in the region. And I would love to hear, what he's going to say. Let's
call MK to the podcast. I'm going to share with him this video. I'm sure he's going to be...
Hopefully he doesn't mind it.
Accepting. And of course, he's building like...
he's visionary, and I would love to see what he's going to say in this hot seat about his views for the technology and Salesforce specifically in the region.
I'm interested as well. Do you have any question for him? I can take notes. I'm joking. We'll talk about it behind the scenes.
I trust you. You'll ask the right questions.
Okay, so thank you so much. Look, I want to thank you because joining the hot seat is not always easy. We usually put people on the spot, but you've been able to show us how innovation and technology can be done without dehumanizing a product. You guys are the building an entire city, I would say, and you are doing with CRM, I think you're building the heart of that city. I hope the metaphor makes sense to you. I think it's something beautiful, for you to be the heart of the city and to be able to keep it as much human as possible.
Yeah, as I said, NEOM is a very beautiful dream, and I just hope that I will be living there until I see it reaching its ultimate goals.
Me too. I would love to be living there in the future, 100%. So let's try and buy enough land there. So
we should.
We will be here to witness that growth.
We will be definitely.
We'll be part
to support it, not only.
Yes, we'll be part of it, 100%. Okay, thank you so much, Arif. It was really nice to have you.
Likewise, it was a pleasure being with you. Thanks so much.